work and all. That's just what
today we're talking about social media marketing and connectedness. So now we're facing the future. We want to, I feel like the people here, social media managers, influencers, there are different types of people in social media marketing, and I feel like everybody wants to know what to expect in the future. So I have questions that prepared specifically. Like I researched every single person, and I really like how balanced this panel is. So we have an expert on influencer marketing, we have an expert on paid media advertising, we have an expert on social media marketing, and an expert on content creation and content marketing. So I'm going to give them questions based on like the their field. And yeah, Uche, how will the way we use social media change in the future? And and how can prepare for this?
Okay, so first of all, I always tell people that social media is the future, regardless of what you're hearing, AI, NFTs, like all of them are really cool, but like social media, especially marketing, is always going to evolve. So marketing has been there from the 90s, as far back as, BC, and it's going to be there forever. It's just evolving. So for me, if you're asking about the future of social media marketing, is creativity one, data-driven technology. So all those three together is going to be the future of social media marketing. So like your creative ideas, so don't be afraid of ChatGPT. Your creativity as an individual is going to be relevant. Your metrics, that's the data, having your numbers of who your audience are, is going to be technology. So to save time, energy, and resources, you have to be able to adapt to softwares to make your work faster. So for social media marketing tools, scheduling tools, and so on and so forth. So that's it for me.
Yeah. Salem, please, it's not easy to stand in front of man talking. Give us inspiration, clap well. Salem, I want to know what emerging trends in social media marketing should content creators and marketers be aware of? Like, what are the things, the trends that you feel like would take shape in coming years, and people need to get on top of it like yesterday?
Well, the ones you should be aware of, I think we're all aware, because like if you're living online, everything is always in your face. But definitely short form video. People who are like YouTubers, it was a bit of a struggle, to feel like I put so much work into this thing to create like a 10-minute, 15-minute movie, and then now there's kids making 7-second random things that just blow up. The thing we need to pay attention to is that's not new. Do you guys remember Vine? It's not new. People always had an appetite for, something they could consume really fast. So I would advise everyone to take short form videos seriously and not just see it as this thing that is stealing from other kinds of content. Short form content is bait. People still want long form content. People still want to listen to podcasts. This morning, before I came here, I started watching a video that is 2 hours long. And when I leave here, I'll continue. Right? But before I finish that, I've watched maybe TikToks while I'm doing other things, right? Long form content, or you own a brand, understand that you still need that what you can get from that short attention span. The mistake I see people make is trying to fix everything. Like, no, everybody's attention span is so short, this generation, we need to fix it. And you want to fix it with long form content, you're going to lose everyone, right? So make sure that you're leveraging it. Don't fight the system. Don't see it as, oh, this thing is bad, I need to fix it. Nah, use it to your own advantage. Give people so much in a short time. A percentage of those people are going to want more. That's where calls to action come in. You get, so you can tell them, subscribe to the mailing list for more. Go to YouTube for more. Check our website for more. There's always a way to show them more, but all of them take short form content very, very serious.
Now, Maureen, what changes have you seen in the way that people use social media platforms to advertise their business?
So
Definitely, I don't know if you guys saw recently on ChatGPT, Google also released its own, but it had its own faults. And on our side as media buyers, we were warned, Google ads may soon actually become irrelevant. But that doesn't mean that, you shouldn't be doing your YouTube ads, you shouldn't be doing your Facebook. TikTok is also business or how you'd like to advertise your platforms. We also just had a session recently, and we were talking about how creating your customer profile and your customer niche is really important, because Facebook is still relevant. It's still number 2 when it comes to one of the most consumed social media platforms. Yeah. Number 1 is TikTok. What's up? Number 1? Yeah, either of the two. So you shouldn't ignore any platform in the name of things are evolving. I feel like Facebook, especially for business owners who are selling wholesale items, is still relevant for them. There's a reason why Facebook groups captivate a lot of people, and that's why maybe our parents are still there heavily. So there's an audience for everyone in every platform. There are people who believe in podcast advertising right now. I think even major brands right now are also very receptive in the podcast area, and I think also podcast content creators are really yielding from that. I've seen brands like MTN, Plataweb also, supporting podcast content creators. Spotify recently also, I think, gave grants to like 10 podcast content creators in Africa. So. But I think, as he mentioned, you have to be very flexible when it comes to avenues that you'd like to explore. Do not feel the threat of TikTok coming your way. I think one good example I have in Kenya, media houses are literally almost closing down because of the social media and Twitter. That's where everyone is getting their news from. And we've seen a lot of layoffs. So when there was the exodus of layoffs in tech, in Kenya it was for media houses. And that was because literally no one is, advertising on those platforms. They're preferring doing heavy on YouTube. Brands like, Guinness are preferring using Google Ads and Facebook instead of doing a TVC. So these brands now have started adapting with the social media pages giving you short headlines. Yeah, if you follow Al Jazeera, they are the best in that. And so now, and also on local platforms, you don't need to now switch on your 7 p.m. news, your 9 p.m. news. You can literally get real-time updates on your Instagram page. And they go way ahead to now directing you to links or even just completing the whole paragraph on the comment section. So that's a way, major media houses are adapting. So you should also now look for the other cycle. So there's still avenues. I think just for you to look for your niche. I believe in just finding your platform would really help instead of you trying everywhere and then losing it.
We all have session video use Facebook. Facebook groups. There are some Facebook groups that the platform. I can never delete my Facebook account because of those Facebook groups. So even though everybody's saying, oh, when you go Facebook, everybody's just announcing their wedding, announcing burial, announcing child born. But Facebook is still valuable. There are groups that are part of that. The knowledge they share there for free. I'm not deleting my Facebook account. Although anybody can delete their Facebook account soon. Yeah, also it's kind of what's supposed to, kind of. But if you really believe that Facebook is a social media platform that is impactful, please raise up your hand. Now,
if you are a social media manager, you definitely need.
If you are a social media manager too, you need Facebook to run your ads.
There's no way you can't run.
If you are if you create filters on Instagram, you need your Facebook account.
Yeah.
So whether you like it or not,
even if you are a developer. If you're a developer and you need to upload your apps, you still need your Facebook account.
Definitely. Now I have a question for Elena. Social media platforms such as Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, they're evolving every day. How do you think this is impacting influencer marketing?
Okay. We made a prediction on social media climate and Africa about what we think would happen in 2023 in the influencer market. I'm just going to share a few things based on the questions that you just asked me. So with regards to TikTok, we all know how TikTok is like now one of the most, one of the platforms that a lot of people are, spending time on. So I think with creators should, sort of like find a way to create more authentic videos on TikTok. So I'm going to give you an example. So I work with PR agencies and I work with brands, and basically what we do is we find influencers. So we find influencers for these PR agencies for their clients, and some of the brands need influencers or creators that they need to partner with. So one of the things that we look out for now is authenticity, right? How can do we feel like this creator is authentic? Can we relate to this person? How can this person, sell the brand in a way that it looks as authentic as possible? So I would say creators should, find a way to be authentic. Don't try and do what everybody's doing. You don't have to bring a podcast and then start recording. Whatever you feel like you're good at doing, just do. And another thing I would say is invest in the quality of your content. Like I always tell anybody that knows me, I always tell them, invest in the quality of your content. Even if brands are not paying you to maybe post on your page because you don't have a lot of numbers. Because the truth is, some brands still look at numbers, right? They still look at numbers. Even if we say that, followers are still monetary metrics, some people still look at that too as well. Yeah. So even if you don't have a lot of numbers, brands can still pay you to create content for them. And some of these brands, pay good. I know I've heard people say that. I've heard people say that Nigerian brands don't like to pay well, but I don't know where they heard that from. But the brands I know, they actually pay. And even if you're not even restricting yourself, don't even restrict yourself to the Nigerian market. You can earn from brands out of Nigeria to us, and they pay you well. So I would say, be authentic, invest in the quality of your content, and I want to add collaborate as well, right? So you're able to tap into different people's, audience, and then, build your own source of machine learning.
Wow. People, influencers are choking money.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a visual storyteller, social media manager, but I can tell you that the highest paid job I've had in my life was an influencing job. I'm still trying to beat that money. The money was big. Hey God, do it for me this year. And she was talking about content, quality of the content. There's someone here that the quality of our content today. I'm going to be this not here. This thing called fashion. You see our content. Oh, there's someone who tell us here too. Eniola Tito. If you check their videos, the video is crisp. You know when you collect new Naira notes? I don't know what the current new Naira notes looks like. I've not even seen or touched it. But you know the old new Naira notes, they'll be like, this is not easy. Belena, based on what you just said, I want to ask you something else. How do you think the future of influencer marketing will play out in terms of transparency, diversity? Diversity, very, very important. I want to know your thoughts on that. As well as you've already spoken city, but I want you to tell us more about that, and then on regulation as well.
Okay, we're going to take you one after the other, right?
Yes.
So let's start with authenticity, right? Transparency.
Yes.
Transparency in the part of the influencers, right? Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of Nigerian influencers don't disclose that. They don't disclose that. And I saw that Kim Kardashian was fined for not announcing the amount she was paid for the Bitcoin. I can't remember a trading platform. I can't remember the exact details in this moment, but the trading platform, like Bitcoin trading platform, she didn't disclose the amount. Apparently, for financial apps such as that, you have to disclose the amount you are paid, so that when people who are viewing the content, they know you were paid this amount. But that is not just disclosing that is an app. disclosing amounts. But I feel like there are no regulations in the Nigerian industry.
Okay.
People don't disclose ads. They don't.
Okay, so you wanted to say that?
No, I want to hear your thoughts on how you feel like the regulation will play out in the coming years.
Would we actually have that in Nigeria?
Very interesting question. I love your question because as an influencer marketing strategist and agency owner, I get to work with influencers in Nigeria and influencers out of the country as well. And I need people to understand that there are two different markets you cannot compare, whether you like it or not. There are two, just like how Nigeria is. I know how we had that country. I'm so sorry for this. But yeah, you cannot compare Nigeria to other countries. So it's the same thing with the influencer marketing industry. To start with, I feel like influencer marketing is still sort of like new. Yeah, we're still adapting. So for example, a couple of years back, it was just celebrities, right? You're gonna pay, like you see big brands, paying so much money to actors, artists, etc. It's of recent that people are now tapping into creators like micro-influencers, the nano-influencers. So it might take a while, maybe if there's, because I've seen also people on Twitter with regards to this regulation, maybe, because you can never really predict the influencer marketing industry, right? What used to trend a couple of years back, it was long videos. People were doing long videos, brands were paying for 1 minute videos, but now people want TikTok, brands want content that would most likely, go viral and reach more people. So with regards to that, I don't know how, we can never say. And with the ads, it's still the same thing basically, because we're two different markets. Some influencers in Nigeria would disclose that there is an ad, but like I said, there's no regulation, there's no higher body that has put up a law. They are doing that in the US and the other countries because there's a law that states you have to, disclose that. There's no law. So anybody that's just doing it because they're just doing it because they just want to do it right. So that's about transparency.
Transparency and regulation.
And regulation. So let's talk about authenticity, right? Authenticity in what sense? Let me just
on the influencer side, because some influencers they post about products and you know that they don't use it. All these all these skin bleaching creams. And they will be posting it and we all know that they're lying. We all know. So what do you have to say there?
What I have to say with regards to this is in every industry there are good and bad things, right? And I think because a lot of people are now aware that you can make money in the industry. Yes, the payroll is so good. Like any influencer that you suppose them. No, let me actually say this, right? When people say the pay is so good, sometimes they can exaggerate it, right? Because you need to know that for some months, they're good months, they're bad months, right? There are sometimes you might put on your rate card, you're charging 700K for a video, and then the brand goes, oh no, we can't pay you back and forth, and because you want to partner with the brand, you might charge 250. So sometimes sometimes the way people exaggerate that they make a lot of money, it might not be as that's for paying brand deals. Now if they have other things, they might not be consistent. Now if they have other things like maybe they sell their courses, they post, yes. So I just want to put that out as well. So with regards authenticity, there are bad eggs and there are good eggs. And like I said, because influencer marketing or influencers seems to be like the easiest way to make money. You see, someone can just wake up, maybe do a video on TikTok and it goes viral, and the next thing you see, DM for collab /
DM for rate.
So let me even lie. If I see that on your bio, that's even like a red flag. What's DM for collab / rate, right? So you can just do a video and it goes viral, and then you put on your bio DM for rate, and maybe you've heard this person charged 250, and because there's no regulation, so the truth is somebody can wake up one morning and decide to increase their rate tariffs by 100% without putting in the work, right? That's why you see there are lots of frauds in the industry as well, and it's making it look like influencers are fake, or influencers are just scams or whatever it is that they call them. So with regards back to your question, I'm still talking on the authenticity. I would say this is for brands. If you're going to hire somebody, do your research. If you don't know how to find, like the most suitable influencers, you can hire an agency. That's why we created IMH Africa. Or train someone on your team to do that, because if you're going to be paying so much money, I don't know why you should hire an influencer that you know that is not going to use your product. And consumers are getting smarter. Consumers can tell if this influencer is telling a lie or not. I mean, how many people do you want to lie to? So this boils down to the brand. Do your research before you hire, just anybody to work, or just hire an agency.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. Can I respond to something she said?
Sorry, we'll take Q&A later. Time is running. On diversity, I would like to know your thoughts on that.
Diversity in what sense?
Like representation of different kinds of people. Different kind of people based on size, color, not just light-skinned women, light-skinned, skinny women, but like different sizes, different religions, different ethnic groups.
So far, so good. I don't think we have any issues with regards to diversity. I've seen small people, I've seen light-skinned people, I've seen trans people, everybody.
Muslim women actually. Muslim women too.
Yeah.
Women.
Yes, I've seen. There are even agencies that cater to. I've seen an agency also in Nigeria that caters to modest creators. They call them modest creators, the Muslim women, everything. I don't think there are any issues with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Uche, how do you think that social media marketers can better measure and analyze the impact of their social media marketing campaigns in preparation? Because if you don't know how to measure, you can't prepare for the job.
Okay, so to get your question, how can social media marketers measure their campaigns, right? Okay, so first of all, before you're even measuring a campaign, you have to ask yourself, like, what were your goals initially? Like, you're not going to start something without knowing the end result. So you have to ask yourself, what is my end result? So say, for instance, you want to build more awareness. What KPIs are you going to track? Is it your reach? Is it your following? Is it your community? Just have one single KPI. That's all. It doesn't have to be so much. It doesn't have to be so big. You can always use like as little as 10%. So say you're having a reach of like 5,000, and at the end of the month you want to have 10% increase. So you're looking at 500 extra. And obviously, if you pace yourself like that, you'll be able to know by the end of, say, February, oh well, I had 5,000 reach at the end of January. By the end of February, it's like 6,000. Already that's 20% growth, right? So it's always important to have your goals at the beginning of anything. Check them very well and say, I want to move from point A to point B. I feel like the major problem is people have strategies but don't know how to execute them. And that's one of the reasons why, say hire experts, because it's one thing to have the idea, it's another thing to move the needle from this point to that point. So you're actually paying people to move the needle from this point. You know it, but you just can't execute it. That's why it's like concept to completion. So people have the concept, but they can never take it. So the future of social media is creativity, data, and technology. Rely on your insights from Instagram. If you have a scheduling tool, so my agency will use it later, and something happened. I always send this to our client that, oh, look what happened this week, and they're all excited. So yeah, leverage on technology, because you never know that your content is reaching people. It's these platforms and apps that would help you know that you're doing the work. Thank you.
Can you please tell us some of your best tools for measuring?
Okay, so to measuring, okay, fine, go too far. Okay, so measuring, I said my scheduling tool later, one. Instagram insights, so listen to your insights, it's not gonna lie. But I will always say use a schedule, and then also, when it comes to like influencer campaigns, there are tools they use to measure this type of tools, but I can only speak for social media marketing and also your Instagram ads. So leverage on the platform's insights. They're always very reliable, and if you use any tool, check the tool. So for instance, maybe email marketing, check your insights. Just check your insights. The way you post on Instagram and you want to check how many people viewed your stories, it's just the same thing with this tool. So for Instagram, check insights. We use later and we check later analytics. Yes.
Thank you very much. Salem, how can content creators and content marketers ensure that their message stays relevant over time? Like, how can you create content that is evergreen? Not evergreen in the sense that, so content is not so relevant, but stays evergreen, like in such a way that it's still relevant.
You can't, it's in God's hand. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Of course, there's an extent to which is outside of your control. I've been doing this content thing for how many years, and every time I'm still surprised by what goes viral. Till yesterday, right? Because sometimes there's some pieces of content you work so hard on, like I'll do research, I film in different angles, you know, I edit, messages on point. I'm like, yeah, this is the one that's going to propel me.
And that's the one that will disgrace you.
Bruh, like everybody is quiet, like you didn't do anything, you know. And then the one, I had a video that went viral one time. I literally was about to film, then they took light, then I walked to my window and opened the curtain and literally held my phone up like this. And that video went viral. No lights, no tripod, it was black and white, you know. So sometimes it's like that. However, the one thing that we can always do right in order to make sure that we're relevant is to know your audience, right? So know, who am I making this for? Where are they hanging out, right? So if, for example, the kind of content you make is going to be attractive to people who are Gen Z, and you're posting it on Facebook, what are you doing? You know? So you might want to double down on TikTok if that's what you're leaning toward. So it's, at the end of the day, it's really not about what you want to make. It's like, oh, I want to make this. Which people am I making it for, and where are they? I need to go and meet them there. You can't bring them to you. I see a lot of people make the mistake of like using their Instagram primarily as a funnel to direct people to YouTube. It almost never works, because people that came to Instagram came to Instagram. Do you get? People that go to YouTube go to YouTube. So every time you need to treat your Instagram audience as an Instagram audience. They need to know that this creator is creating for us. They're not just creating in order to drive us somewhere else. Because it will show, and everybody likes to feel special. You know, like every time your video is 30 seconds, then at the end, YouTube for more. At some point, your engagement will just plummet. You know, TikTok now will even shadow ban you for constantly cross-referencing
links.
Another platform.
Yeah.
Like if you constantly have calls to action, like go to YouTube. After a while, you just see that the sound is off from your video.
Instagram.
You know,
So people have to say, oh, go to the club app.
Yeah.
Say TikTok on your Instagram stories to get less of you.
yeah. So I know TikTok is the one who's like going very heavy on it right now. You need to be careful how you reference other platforms on TikTok. But at the end of the day, back to what I said earlier, before you're in the business of anything, you're in the business of people, right? Whether it's clothes you sell, or it's content you make, or you're a social media manager, or you're a content marketer, or you're an influencer. Before you're in the business of anything, you're in the business of people. All the likes and comments and shares you need, all the leads, it's other people. You're not, you can't like your own, okay, well, you can't, but then, it would be weird if you didn't know that. Do you get? The money you need to make is in other people's pockets. You know, so at the end of the day, you're in the business of people. If you want to remain relevant, you need to constantly be speaking to what people want to see. You need to be offering value. And I like to say value because when people who work in marketing hear the word value, they think education. But that's not what value is. Value is ultimately anything that people want to see that they cannot give themselves. Finish.
I'd be shocked that like value.
Chicken. So yeah. So if somebody asks me for money for food, I see that as an essential, right? Somebody asks me for money to go to a comedy show, I see that as not essential. But some people will spend more money to pay for a concert than they will spend on food. How do you explain that? To them, that's valuable. So if you are a comedian and you feel like I'm a comedian, so I'm not offering value, you've got it twisted, right? So you've already seen yourself finish and so franchised yourself. So I need you to know that value is not necessarily education. Of course, education is a form of offering value, but think about ways that you can offer people something that they cannot offer themselves. Like I watch Noye's content. I'm not going to use them to do anything. I'm not going to try the outfits she's sharing, but I just like it. It's satisfying. I watch a lot of fashion content. I watch a lot of food content. I can't cook. I just like it when people make pasta from scratch. It's satisfying.
Yes, so like, should I talk about that thing?
Let's not go there. It's my fault. I'm the one that put my life out there. But yeah, the way to be relevant ultimately is to think people. Yeah.
Yeah, we're almost ready outside. Like, Maureen, this is our last question, and then we take questions from the audience. If you have questions, please get them ready. Maureen, what advice do you have for like businesses getting started with, say, media advertising on social media platforms? Businesses that they want to start trying out ads on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, or YouTube, Google Ads.
So I'll start off with Instagram. I think that's an easier avenue for businesses. So the first thing I think you have to do is, one, your budget. So what are your budgets you're allocated? Let's just use a small guess. So if maybe you're planning on spending, say, 5,000 naira a week. Yeah, I know that may seem a lot for a small business that is starting, but I feel like that's the time you need to put in more budget as you're building up, and then later on you can now have organic engagements. So with 5,000 naira, okay, how are you going to allocate it? So with how Instagram has gone about, I don't know, but in Kenya they've started taxing us also on Instagram, so it's not even more costly to
Same thing here.
increase
So
it.
you
Is
have
it taxing?
Yeah, I know that the ad specialists that work with us, one of the reasons that we use ad specialists because we can't keep up with Facebook's policy.
Yeah.
But I know that I've also been seeing some updated policies, something like 7.5% VAT when you're trying to pay for an ad. So if you're paying 5K, you're going to pay 7.5 of that for ads. So yeah, it's already happening here. So
Ours is 16%.
wow, this is 7.5.
It's painful. So you can imagine now, if it was 5,000 naira, now you have to go to at least 8,000 naira to do weekly ads. And with ads, especially if you're starting off with a new page, I'd advise, definitely go for the awareness. I'm just creating a media pipeline. Yeah. So select awareness, and with awareness, that means people who are following and liking your page. And now you have to also think of the content that you're uploading there, and if it's reasonable, because I think that's what now retains people to your page. So always ensure that you are consistently posting, sharing information that is relevant for your business. If you do not have enough stock, because you're starting off, you maybe have like 10 variety of say shoes that you're selling. So always just try to create, with those 10 pair of shoes, I believe you can create 20 videos. Yeah. So it's just about the angle that you're coming up with the content. Do not feel deprived that I do not have budget, I do not have money to finance my business, so I can't promote myself. There's still hope. Alternatively, you can also think of, you've started off, you can go now to nano influencers who normally at least promote themselves, they'll promote your business on their stories, for Insta Market Days. Yeah. So you can also look for that avenue as pushing awareness. I understand, because businesses, when you're starting off, that now just tells you the longevity, yes, of your business. So the small money that you have right now, it's just a matter of where you're putting it to help your business at least get the most results. And so do not feel like influencers when you're starting off, it's a far reach. Definitely there are ways in how you can still use influencers. A lot of influencers nowadays do have avenues where they are promoting businesses. They have a day when they're just doing advertisements for businesses at very affordable rates. So take also advantage of that. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hope your questions are ready. But I want to say something outside. Business owners that do ads, that you not message them, I want to buy this and this is sold out. You have a special. Because I saw it, I like it, I'm ready to spend my money, you're not telling me it's sold out. Why? Why did you post? Why did you promote something that is sold out?
The problem is from the strategy.
Why?
It's the foundation.
We will start between them here. Okay, if you have any questions, now, okay.
I don't understand. Consider.
Whatever you want.
Good morning. Thank you guys. Enjoy the session. My name is Victor Anyanwu, content creator, social media manager, all that. co-founder of largest YouTube group in Lagos. Okay, that's my CV now. And that's my brother. Okay, so I wanted to quickly respond. We said that we don't have regulations.
We don't have what?
Regulations, as people posting ads and all that.
No, influencer marketing.
Say again?
Influencer marketing.
Yeah, influencer marketing, they're posting ads for people. Right. So we have the Advertisers Practitioners Council of Nigeria. Those guys are the guys that actually ought to be doing that regulation you're talking about. So they will come down on you when you do certain things that are against the law. They factor in ethical marketing, factor in marketing rights, they factor in not demarketing. Because in Nigeria, the standard is you don't demarket, right? So when you demarket or when you don't do ethical marketing, for example, medicine, law, those kind of practices, you don't market like regular market, yeah? So when you do that, those guys will come hard on you, okay? So for those that do wrong stuff, sometimes they might not get them because they might just roll under the radar because some of them are small, some of them work with smaller brands. So most of these guys, they go for the big names. So you are Peak, all right? You are Dunlop, you are Peugeot, right? You are CBN. So when all those big time visible brands, those are the brands that they know. So the minute they see those things, they come down. So you see for some, like those banks, they'll take down a particular they'll take down a particular image. I don't know if you saw, there was something one brand used with...
I actually remember that Osas, she did
absolutely, and they took it down, remember?
She did an ad that she was wearing...
Exactly, and they took it down because it was unethical. So these are... Yeah, it was Glow, yes. So they took it down. So, just to respond to that we actually do, but they are understaffed.
Maybe the regulating body is just not as active as...
Yeah, that's what I said. They are understaffed, okay, and you can't just be going... Nigeria is over 2 million people. You can't just be going...
That it's very interwoven, right? So, saying that Glow ad would have gone on TV. It was initially made for TV, but will still be shared, yes, on social.
Yes.
So if you see it on social, it will look like influencer marketing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's still like a television advert. So like,
but even at influencer marketing, they will still take it down. Let me give you an example. We did something for Peak, right? Peak has Peak 1, 2, 3. Then they have 4, 5, 6. You're not allowed to say certain things for 1, 2, 3. But they can let you say those things for 4, 5, 6. Ethical marketing. When a particular influencer did that, they saw it and they took it down because it's Peak. So if
I think they regulate based on brand rather than based on influencer.
Yeah, because those are visible.
Yeah, I think that. So it's still Nigerian vibe because other countries they go ad on the influencer rather than the brand because it's the influencer that is doing something that is ethically wrong. Well, sometimes the brand might also be culpable based on the fact that
they did not tell the influencer
or they told them. In fact, brands actually tell people what to do sometimes. So yeah, let me take a question.
Hi, my name is Nike. So for social media marketing and content creation, how do we cope with the way music and sound are being muted when you make a post? For instance, it might be available on all other social media platforms. Then TikTok will tell you there's no sound. Or for instance, Instagram will tell you a video you posted 20 years ago, the sound has been removed or the video has been removed. How do we cope with this? What are the ways we can, what are the tips you can give us for this?
I also want to add to that because I actually saw that now using music that everybody believes is free and free to use, like what's the trend? Like that, Abikin Parency, that kind of thing. If you use it on your video now, you can get sued by... Why?
Copyright.
No, I understand the copyright, but how do we go around it?
Okay, so first of all, like you said, copyright. So again, what I would always advise is to stay alert. So this is, again, one of the reasons why you have to work with the experts. And I say this not to sell markets, just because they are in the know every day. So like social media marketers, influencer marketers, and videos of updates, do you understand? So to actually answer your question, you just have to stay abreast with like the information, right? So if you see this particular sound trending and people are using it, it's just a very safe place to go. You know that Instagram is not going to ban like 100,000 videos of that. I cannot specifically say why they are banning X videos or X music. Sometimes if you're running adverts on them, you're making money off somebody's videos. So do you understand? So it's very touchy. It's just best still to use royalty-free music. Do you understand? Like maybe on your stories. Then it's not royalty-free.
Royalty-free then.
It's not royalty-free. And then just use the sound thing. It's the safe place to start from. Like you don't necessarily have to use the recent Naramani song. Just use something. At the end of the day, it's your product and how you're targeting your audience that matter most, not the music per se. But I think Salem can add more to that.
Yeah, I would also advise everyone to use original audio as much as you can.
True. Do your voiceover.
Yeah, like do more voiceovers, do more. Instagram cannot come and tell you your voice is. They can't take that from you. And then on the other hand, honestly, I don't think Instagram and TikTok envisaged this was going to be a problem. So I don't think even they have figured it out. Do you get? Like, because recently I came to, my posts were 900 or something, and I was like, great, I'll soon hit 1,000 posts. And I came and saw that it had reduced by like 7. I didn't know exactly. Yeah, so it means some had disappeared somewhere in the mix. Another reason why this thing is very complicated is because the guys who have rights to music, yes, right? Sony and a couple of all those guys said about how Instagram and TikTok are democratizing all of this, right? Because that's how they make money. Yes. They own catalogs and they get money from it over time. So their relationship with Instagram and TikTok has been very shaky, like even from the beginning. You get with. They're not excited about music being democratized. You get, they're not even excited about Spotify and Apple Music. Yeah. Right?
Because it's reducing how they make them money.
Exactly. So from Spotify and Apple Music getting music in, Steve Jobs creating the iPod that lets you have 1,000 music in, 1,000 songs in one place. That's not where we're supposed to be. Like you're supposed to buy CD with only 12 songs. That's the ideal. That's how they make the most money. Do you understand? So I think it's still a rough. There's a bit of copyright law in all of this. There's entertainment law. It's super complicated. It's very intricate. But Instagram has sort of simplified it to us creators so that you can just use any song you like. But it's not that simple, to be very honest. So at the end of the day, you're safest with content where everything belongs to you.
Do voiceover. Sing along to your video.
So
sing the song.
So with every other thing,
go viral.
With every other thing,
same videos that I really love them.
Yeah, with every other thing, it's a risk. Finally, another thing you can do is start to actually pay for your music. Yes. So you can use platforms like Epidemic Sound, yes, and I forget the names of the other ones now, but like Epidemic Sound, you can pay subscription every month. That one, you know that you paid for the music. All the music you use, you actually pay. The artist is happy. The person that made the music, everybody's happy, and yeah.
Okay.
My 2 cents.
I don't think we can take any more questions because it's 11:58. That is our 1 hour. Does anybody have any questions?
Can I add to this?
We can't. You've already spoken words.
Okay, I think there was just one question that I feel like we want to know. So what do you use to measure influence campaigns?
Oh, I was going to ask that.
You want me to tell you a
We're
secret?
300.
Like I'm just going to tell you one that I know. You can use green.
Sorry.
Yeah, so
Green.
the thing is, this group has just been
GRIN.
So you see all this.
So
should we do this? Should we?
I was going to ask them one last question. I think we can still take with that question.
We didn't
Okay, so
we just have to
everybody.
get together. That's how we talk.
How do you think this ever-changing world of social media with the introduction of AI, virtual reality,
So I think of doing that. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. How do you think this ever-changing world of social media management with the introduction of AI, machine learning, virtual reality, augmented reality, how do you think it will affect businesses going forward? Everybody.
Even just recording this is over.
You go first.
Nobody's perfect. Just record something and just keep putting it out.
I don't think it will affect much. I feel like a lot of businesses will definitely adapt. I mean, I'm a fan of GPT. I hate going. I think since then I'm done with Google search when it comes to research or finding out things because it just gives me a summary of everything. January I was creating my marketing plan, and trust me, literally everything was coming out from GPT and you just copy paste anything. But that means quick. Okay. So that means that how is it called? When it comes to content creation, I think it doesn't mean that influencers or any other platform will be irrelevant. I feel like it will just more of optimize and help to improve the kind of content that is out there. So yeah, I'm seeing it as, because we already have search in like every platform right now. So search is a very common, a very key platform to every app right now. When you want to search, they're planning on also having WhatsApp search, the business search. That will be amazing. So that means that every platform is optimizing on simplifying the experience that you're using in every, Instagram right now. When I'm in Lagos, I always just search nails in Lagos. Yeah, I get some pages and explore. So that's the way, customers are adapting to. They want to just look for something specific, and so platforms will definitely adapt that. And for content creators, that means that, you have to ensure that your SEO, your keywords are definitely clear so that you can be searchable.
I believe that everybody's just going to adapt at the end of the day, and we should just be ready to adapt. We've seen so many waves. To be honest, 30 years ago, there was no internet. Do you get? Let me know how old everybody is. Who went through university without Google? Okay. Who went through secondary school without Google? Right? The people in secondary school now can't relate. Do you get? Like I was telling somebody the other day that very soon kids are going to see the phone logo and wonder why it's shaped like that. Like on your phone.
Okay.
Like
handsets.
Like why is it shaped like that? Because they don't know that phones ever. They only know a phone as a flat screen, so they're going to wonder what's up with that. Right? So I believe that human beings always adapt, and as a business person, make sure you're not thinking about yourself as this is what we do. We don't do anything else. The pandemic has taught us a lot about how something can just happen and change your entire business model, and you have to be willing to adapt. Yeah.
Okay, so just think partnership. But when I say partnership, it's you and technology. It's not technology against you. It's you and technology. Just think about how you can partner with technology and its journey. That's all I can say about that.